around my place.
This is the Coach's Corner on the Patriots Sports Network. We're about to take on the DeQueen Leopards. As we're, it's weird. I was thinking about it this morning. This is the first week of October and only our second home game. That feels really, really weird.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Luckily, we got 2 back-to-back, so I mean.
That is true. That is true. Coming off a great win at Hot Springs on a Thursday night. Pretty much the entire state was watching because that game was live as the Fearless Friday game of the week. And, of course, we had well over 3,000 viewers on our live broadcast. So a lot of people were watching and a lot of great football on our end.
Yeah, I thought we were a little bit slower than what I was anticipating out of the gate. But we made great strides the second half. I thought our guys played really hard, really well, and we kind of got into our big play mode. We chunked them to death. I mean, we were getting big yards and a lot of big plays, and the playmakers were making those plays, and so felt good. About it. But I thought that Hot Springs actually came out, and for about a quarter and a half, got after us pretty well.
We've got some talented athletes right here next to us, Moncurious Hill and Solomon Aguilar. Got a lineman and a kicker.
Yeah.
Not often you get to get interviews by them, but these are, honestly, you two are a couple of, I like to call unsung heroes, because y'all put in a lot of work each and every week and are big reasons that we get victories each and every game. So, Moncurious, I'm going to start with you because you're the left tackle.
Yes, sir.
That's a tough position, man, fighting in the trenches. As a former tackle myself, I can attest to it. So tell us, as a lineman at this level, what is your main focus? That's been the word of the week. I've noticed around here. What's been your main focus for every Friday night?
Well, my main focus for every Friday night is just making sure that my QB, he ain't really got to worry about anything. I want to make sure to block, as us, being in the trenches and stuff, we should be the ones having dirty jerseys, and the quarterback, he should be free. Do what he need to do, get the ball off, or get the ball off to the running back, or whatever his job is to do. I feel like us as linemen, as me as a lineman, block well, do my assignment, make sure the quarterback is well.
I love it, dude. Let's talk to Solomon here. This guy, I think he's only missed one kick in his entire life. I mean, dude, you've been killing it this season, and Will hates it when I sing your praises every game, but you deserve it, man, because I know, especially at the high school level, it is not easy to be a kicker. It is tough because not only is it like there's a physical element to the game, kicking the ball, trying to get it through those goalposts, but there's also a mental element to that. Can you talk about that for a bit?
Well, there's been times where I get in my head, but I got Coach Bowden. He says, "Don't get mental, because you get mental, you start missing."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Just move on to the next play." And that's what I did against Melissa after I missed that PAT.
Mm-hmm.
Moved on to the next kick. Did my job ever since.
It's almost like that never happened. Dude, like we call you Mr. Automatic on the broadcast. It just seems so, like every time you line up, you just have emotion. I noticed when you kick off too, you take your steps. You have a routine that you do, and just like that. I mean, is it wrong to say it feels automatic to you?
No, it's what I've been coached and what I've been doing all 3 years I've been here. So it's nothing new. It's the same. Just how do I put it?
A lot stronger, mature player now. And Trips is the reason why they call it special.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, years ago when football first started back in the 1900s, they had special teams. And some guy that was smart said, let's put special in front of this one because this is something where the game can be changed.
Mm-hmm.
And it has for us, knock on wood, at certain times, whether it be on a kickoff return for a touchdown with Jermaine Penny or kicking field goals from 48 yards away and making them. You know, that is a huge feather in our cap to be able to do that because for whatever reason in the Little Rock School District, we've always struggled with kickers, finding the guys that we can develop, and finding one that really takes it above and beyond really helps. Really helps because he makes my job easy. Now he'll be the first to tell you I get into him pretty good, but I mean I'm pretty even with that with every player. I'm attacking the mess up, not the person. I'm attacking what you did wrong, not you as a person. So he's heard it from me after that PAT.
Dude.
I hate leaving points on the field. I've been beat. You know, my first year here, we got beat by PA. We missed 2 extra points, and they kicked the field goal to beat us by 1. So I mean, those points mean something.
Yeah.
Too, and that's what I try to relay to our players is how important it is.
So every Razorback fan screams, just take the points. Don't go for it. So I mentioned earlier, we were talking with Coach Bonner last week, and there was a word of the day. And I feel like this word is everywhere across this facility. Focus. I'm going to go down the line here and talk a little bit about focus. So I'm curious. So as a lineman, what is your main focus? Because just like being a kicker or literally any other position, being in the trenches is a mentally tough game to play. What, as a left tackle, what is your main focus?
My main focus is to watch. My biggest focus has been whoever I'm playing against, the people that I'm playing against on the opponent defensive line, is watch how they play, watch how they move, watch what they do, and then so me as a lineman, I can block well. I can do what I'm supposed to do and come off the ball and do what I'm supposed to do my job as a lineman.
And just adapt to what they're doing.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Now let's ask a similar question to you, Solomon. What is the biggest focus? Because we were talking earlier how mentally challenging it can be, how easily it can be to overthink kicking the football. What is your main focus as the kicker?
My main focus is just kick the ball. Don't think about it too much. We practice it every day. It's the first thing we do out here. So.
Kind of relate kicking to a putting in golf. If you watch a golfer, they do the exact same thing on every putt. I mean, even to the point of wiping their hands.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you watch him, like you said earlier, he does exactly the same routine every time. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Because especially with steps and stuff, like you got to have your steps have got to be right, or the ball's not going to be kicked right. So I think that's just to add to what he's already said. I think that's really important. And he really takes a lot of pride in it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, because I noticed it for every kickoff. I'm surprised I just noticed this last week, but every time you tee the ball up, you would take certain steps one way, turn, take steps the other way, line up, kick the ball off, and you just boom it across the field. So I love it. Now, Coach, getting to you. Bit of a different question here. What has been the focus in practice been this week, and what is the focus going into the game Friday night?
So I think for us every day in practice, our focus is to come out really locked into what our job and our responsibility is. It kind of goes back to what Mark Curious was saying earlier. He has a job to do, and as coaches, we have a job to do, and that's to keep everybody on task in a disciplined fashion. And while you're doing all that, while you're coaching them really, really hard, we coach our kids really hard, you got to notice and be able to tell that they're retaining everything. And you do that based off of, team. And there's a lot of different ways that we base it off of. And then, of course, we have film to look at. But so I think for us, it's coming out every day to try to get better. And as an individual, That's going to be the focus. And I want to be better than what I was yesterday. I may have had a great practice yesterday. That sometimes makes that bar raising deal a little bit harder. But I think that's the focus. And for the game, it's really the same thing. We want to come back out. We don't look at our opponent in any way, fashion, form, or any. I mean, we just don't pay any attention to who we're playing. And I know that's hard for people to really understand, but it's always about how we play and how we're. And it's no disrespect to them. It's just that it's how we're going to play.
Yeah.
And if we're better than what we were last week, then we feel like we have a chance to win. That's kind of our philosophy.
Coach, I say it every single time we sit down together. There's about to be a big hole in the brick wall because we need a podcast. We need a Brad Bowling podcast because I could listen to this all day. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. This was a different, but probably the best Coach's Corner we've had so far this season. So to both of you guys, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck Friday night, Coach. Same to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Big thanks to you. And now let's take it back to War Memorial Stadium as the Queen takes on our Parkview Patriots right here on the Patriots Sports Network.
Introducing the freshman court, class of 2028. Freshman named Cherish Armstrong. Promoted to Derek Miller.
No, man. Come on. Come on. Come on, Call Guard. Forward.
Freshman made Susan Brown. Educated by her grandmother, Gilda Dorn, and President Blake Bisley. Morgan, being escorted by father Raphael Morgan and mother Amanda Bailey. Freshman May, Navia Tolliver, being escorted by her father, Roderick Tolliver. Your sophomore court, class of 2027. Sophomore maid, Victoria Bolden, being escorted by mother, Cecily Randall, and father, Marquise Bolden. Sophomore maid, Kennedy Carroll, being escorted by her cousin, Clinton Bracey. Sophomore maid, Kinsley Kareem, being escorted by her sister, Kennedy Kareem. Sophomore noble, Amir Witherspoon, being escorted by mother, Terry Wade. Your junior court, class of 2026. Junior maid Nadia Owens, being escorted by her cousin, Emma Williams. Junior maid, Christian Powell, escorted by father Christopher Powell and her brother Landon Page. Junior maid, Haley Smith, being escorted by mother Chanel Smith and brother-in-law Joseph Johnson. Junior maid, Paris Smith, being escorted by mother Rashonda Bowers and father David Smith. Junior maid, Indacia White, escorted by her mother, Laterica Pearson White, and father Brandon White. Junior noble, Aaron Withers, the second, being escorted by parents, Aaron Withers and Alicia Withers. Your senior court, class of 2025. Senior noble, Derek Billingsley Jr., and escorted by mother Lisa Gilchrist and father Derek Billingsley Sr. Senior maid, Janaya Brown, being escorted by mother Patrick Brown and father Samuel Brown Sr. Senior noble, Traylon Esters, escorted by mother Tracy Roberts and stepfather Antonio Davis. Senior maid, Gerald Jeter, being escorted by mother Jasmine Jeter and grandfather Bernard Davis. Senior noble, Diego Guevara, escorted by his mother, Miriam Robles. Senior noble, Trenton Hampton, escorted by father Jesse Hampton and mother Chanel Hampton. Senior noble, Bartley Henderson, escorted by mother Martha Hayes. Senior maid, Janelle Nelson, escorted by mother ages small, and Uncle James Houston. Senior maid, Maya Smith. Escorted by parents, mother Marquita Annette and father Lamar Smith. Senior maid Mackenzie Webster, escorted by mother Tanya Wilson and father Kerry Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your homecoming court. And now, someone before you is about to be crowned Parkview's 2024 Homecoming Royalty. The moment you've all been waiting for. Your princess, Nadia Owens.
We need to walk too.
Go, Nadia.
Your prince, Aaron Withers II. Your homecoming king, Traylon Esters. And your homecoming queen, Joy Jeter. We would like to extend a special thank you to Mrs. Lamb, Mrs. Callicott, Ms. Shepard, the Parkview administration team, and last but not least, all the friends and family who came out to support tonight. We welcome you to War Memorial Stadium for tonight's game between the DeQueen Leopards and your Patriots. And your support of high school athletics in the Little Rock School District. Parkview and DeQueen, in conjunction with the Little Rock School District and the Arkansas Activities Association, are supportive of good sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship is a vital part of the education of our students. We encourage everyone to support their team and community in a positive manner. We ask each of you to exercise self-control that reflects positively on yourself, your children, your team, and your school. Please refrain from yelling negative or inappropriate comments to student-athletes, coaches, and officials during tonight's game.
We welcome you into our broadcast booth as you just watched the 2024 Parkview.
And now we ask that you please
It was
rise.
nice. It was a nice ceremony. Looked good crowd, too.
Yeah, and we welcome you to another Parkview football game here at War Memorial Stadium. I was talking to Coach Brad Boulding. We heard it on the Coaches Corner earlier, but it feels weird. This is the first week of October, second home game.
It's the second home game, and it's 82 degrees at kickoff. It is not exactly October football, but we're week 2 of the conference season, and it's these games count.
Absolutely. And it's a conference game, a conference home game. Parkview coming off their victory at Hot Springs on Thursday night last week. DeQueen coming off of a win against Hope last week. Both teams coming off of wins. DeQueen is 3-1 coming into this game, and not many people expected that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected this would be a matchup of 3-1 guys teams at this point, because you have DeQueen, not a long history, but off to a great start this year.
Mm-hmm.
Parkview, took it on the chin against Bryant. A lot of us thought that would be a win. Ended up not, but it's just cosmetic, and we're now 1-0 in conference and heading into week 2.
Let's take it down to the field. Back, as that was the national anthem. You see the JROTC color guard presenting the colors at the 50-yard line, and I like how the JROTC has a whole line down there as the homecoming court was walking through. It was a really, really cool scene, and here we see the colors exiting the field. A really, really cool sight. A pretty decent crowd on the our far side. It's not a usual high school setup here, as both fans, both bands, everything, they're all over there, the opposite side from where we are.
Which is great, because we get to see it. We get to see the crowd. We get to see the crowd reactions. It gives us a little bit more energy, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, the Bryant game was a bit of a different beast, because it was a much bigger game, much bigger crowd expected. So obviously there was two opposite sides, but we're here for a normal conference football game here. DeQueen coming into this game, as you mentioned, 3-1, coming off of a victory over Hope. Last season, we got to give DeQueen a lot of props here. Last season, they didn't win a game. This season, they're 3-1. A great bounce back for the Leopards, and now they're coming into this game looking off to knock off number 1.
Yeah, and they, they're coming with some confidence. Obviously, at 3-1, they believe. It's funny, even if you're not a traditional power, and even if you're beating up on teams that are maybe not quite up to par with you. Yeah, a win is a win, and winning breeds confidence. So they're going to come in. They're going to they're going to kind of do. We were talking before the game. They're a traditional Southwest Arkansas football team. They're going to run the rock. That's what they do. They're going to line up. They're going to run mostly out of a flex bone.
Okay.
A lot of triple option. It's going to be all about assignment defense for Parkview, and they're just going to try to control the game, shorten the game as best they can, keep the ball away from the Parkview playmakers, and see if they can pop a couple of one and get out to a lead. Anything can happen in a high school football game.
On screen, you can see our regular captains: Man, Money, Cam Settles, and also Kevin Ellis, as they have been our team captains all season long. And I love how the Patriots, they mix up their uniforms for each and every game. They're wearing black jerseys over red pants, and of course the iconic white helmets. Very, very clean look.
Yeah, with the view.
Yes.
These are the Oregon Ducks of Arkansas football. They consistently come up with uniform combinations that are the envy of every other school in the state.
Absolutely. As we watch the coin toss, we want to once again thank you for joining us here on the Parkview Sports Network,
play
brought
ball.
to you by
When you
Natural
talk, keep
State
it on your
Sports.
side of the line.
Let's go
Talk
down
to
for
your
the coin
teammates.
toss.
You play football. Make sure you're properly equipped, got your knees covered up as much as you can, keep your pads covered up, nothing hanging out underneath your helmet. Anybody got any questions? Okay, here's the coin we're going to toss. It's silver dollar. That's head and that's tail. Head and tail. Who's going to call it? What do you call it?
Heads.
What?
Heads.
Called head. It is tail. What do you want to toss? You want to do first. You want the ball? Which goal do you want to defend? All right, back to the clock.
Inclined to greatness.
Hallelujah. We have a working ref mic. It's a long time coming, but we've got it here tonight.
It is the start of a conference season, home conference slate. Now we're going to start the whole season over again, right? Nice for Parkview. They're going to be able to put the defense on the field first.
Yeah.
See if they can. The biggest thing about playing one of these triple option teams, obviously, is you got to stop the run. But more importantly, you got to play with great discipline on the line. Your defensive ends can't crash too hard. Your linebackers have to read the quarterback. It sounds easy, but there's a reason that Navy beats Notre Dame every few years. There's a reason that Air Force can pop off 10 wins every now and again. If it's run well, it's fun to watch, and it can be very difficult to defend.
The Queen is coming onto the field. You said they got about, was it 32 players?
Yeah, I saw 32-ish. I don't know who was putting on pads after warm-ups or not, but it's definitely a smaller. Parkview is going to have an advantage in overall size and then just quantity. Just the number of players on the Parkview side is going to dwarf that of the DeQueen Leopards.
As the pregame video is on the scoreboard, I want to point out that my old friend, the old Silver Fox, Steve Sullivan's on the field. He's here in War Memorial Stadium tonight. Good old friend of mine. He's pretty much one of the reasons that got me into broadcasting in the first place. It's a long story, but a great story. So big shout out to my man, Steve Sullivan, who's here tonight.
Sully, one of the great champions of high school football in the state of Arkansas. There's no doubt about that. I don't know a single person my age or younger that didn't grow up watching Sully on Friday nights.
Absolutely. And here come the Parkview Patriots. Number 1 in 5A, number 1 in the 5A South. Coming out of a cloud of smoke, being led onto the field by a very large-headed mascot.
You talk about the leaders in the conference. This is a battle of number ones.
Yes.
After 1 week, half the league is 1-0. The other half is 0-1. Whoever wins this will retain the top spot heading into next week. Whoever loses, they've got to go back to the drawing board and figure out how they're going to make it to the playoffs.
We're ready for some football here in historic War Memorial Stadium, Simmons Bank Field. Parkview are 0-1 at home. Not something that you hear often, and they're ready to get their first home victory here tonight.
And you bring up a good point. They're 0-1 at home, and the biggest thing about that is they've only played one home game. This is just the second home game of the season as we're about to kick off for the 5th game of the year. Coach Bolding's squad is been road warriors thus far.
Yep.
And the only game they got to play at home was against number 1 team in the state overall, number 7, 7A team. And they are, Brian, as we saw firsthand, very deserving of that number 1 ranking.
And there's our man at the 40-yard line, the one, the only, Solomon Aguilar, getting his tee set up. Someone misplaced his kicking football. You can't do that to the king, sir.
Solomon was booting him at pregame. He was splitting the uprights from 40 and beyond. What a great luxury in high school football to have a kicker that can do that, especially a kicker who wears number 72. I mean, come on, this is as good as it gets, right?
Solomon, one of our players joining us for the Coach's Corner, as he joined us earlier this week with Coach Brad Boulding. Moncurious Hill as well. And here we go. There's nothing better than hearing "Welcome to the Jungle" screech throughout a stadium before a high school game. That's how you know it's game time. It feels good to finally be home. And as you said, Brett, road warriors this season.
Road warriors, that's right. It's nice. I'm sure they were very happy not to ride the bus for a long way before this game today.
We're underway here at War Memorial Stadium as the sky has gone completely dark. A mishap on the return by DeQueen. 2 guys were trying to go after it, but it looks like a Leopard fell on top of it around the 20-yard line. They'll mark it at the 21.
With DeQueen avoiding disaster at the very start of this one. When you are in a David and Goliath type situation, the last thing you need is a turnover on the opening kickoff.
Absolutely. So they'll start from the left hash, from their own 21.
A late substitution change on the first snap for DeQueen.
That's senior Cole Binkley, I beg your pardon, under center. Gonna quickly hand it off up the middle. Nowhere going.
Yeah, this is that triple option look that we were talking about, and they're going to continue. The key is when you run the triple option as the offense is the fullback. That's the first read for the quarterback.
Yes.
What are you going to do on that? And then he's got to make that decision very quickly as to whether or not he's going to pull that ball. And of course, Parkview's so quick laterally. It's going to be difficult. They're going to have to really pound that inside and trying to get those defensive ends to crash.
Only a gain of 1 that time, so it's 2nd down and 9 from their own 22. And a man in motion. A run an option this time. A pitch out to the right. Gets the first down and then some as he's finally tripped up. That's number 4, Ulysses Cotto.
It was a good job getting to the outside. Again, we were talking about that. You got to have discipline. Kevin Ellis crashed a little too hard coming down the line. And the quarterback was able to make a nice pitch, get the ball to the outside. This is what they're going to try to do. Shorten the game. We're already almost a full minute. We'll be a full minute into the game after this snap. I'm sure he's getting coached on the sidelines. Stay in bounds.
Yes.
I know it's first quarter, but we want to keep this clock rolling.
So new set of downs. Quarterback keeper this time, and he is walloped. My goodness.
As a misdirection that didn't quite work, right? They were trying to. They ran the traditional set with the triple op with the man in motion to the field side, and then quarterback tucked it into the boundary, and there were 4 Patriots sitting there waiting on him.
Jeremy Edwards, Ja'Cory Smith was there. So was Kevin Ellis. A 3-man tackle. They absolutely hit him after a 1-yard gain. Now it's 2nd down and 9.
It was a good job there on the defensive end. I believe it was Ellis to hold up and not crash too hard there and read what he's doing there. He's crashing down on that side there too.
A run to the right side this time. That's number 4, Ulysses Cotto again.
It's great penetration there by the linebacker for Ellis. There, he was able to slip through, and that helps. The defensive end helps set that. The defensive end is almost like a blocker on the defense and against a triple option. You're holding up that line. You do not want the line to move down.
That was a loss of 1 that time, so a great tackle for loss. Now it's 3rd down and 10.
Well, and a key of this veer attack is you've got to get to the second level, and if your defensive line is able to keep the Queen offensive line from moving down to the linebackers, it's going to be very difficult.
Leopards line up in an empty set this time. He's going to have to run as got a couple of Patriots in his face. Ball is batted down. Was it ruled a fumble?
I was going to see
it looked like he was throwing it forward. But I
call
think
it a backwards pass, perhaps.
I think so, and they're calling it Parkview football.
That's a good call. Good call, Trip. That was exactly what they're calling it. It was a backwards pass, and Parkview was able to get on top of it. And this is a problem when you're a run-based team.
Yeah.
And suddenly you are in 3rd and long, and you're running an empty set, and you're not running quick passes, and you're running against a team that's as fast as Parkview.
Yeah.
It's DeQueen's got to do what they got to do to try to move the football. It was probably more apt for a conservative play call there.
Quentin Murphy is back on the field. He's going to quickly hand it off to Cameron Settles. Settles bouncing off a couple of guys. Finally has to be dragged down to the 9.
In pregame, I was down on the field walking around talking to some of the coaches, listening on some of the meetings, and one of the things that really jumped out was the offensive line meeting was pancake, pancake, pancake. They are wanting to reestablish the line of scrimmage.
Settles again up the middle. Woo pig! Touchdown, Parkview!
And just said you got to reestablish the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what Parkview did just there. I mean, the ball was snapped at the 9. You look up, and all of a sudden, the line of scrimmage is 4 yards down the field. It's perfectly executed football right there.
Absolutely. Great way to keep moving forward, keep your momentum going after recovering that fumble. A quick 2-play drive to get into the end zone.
Well, when you're a favorite like Parkview is tonight, the last thing you want to do is give your opponent a chance. You don't want to give them any hope. You don't want to give them that glimmer of hope that could really spark some excellent play for them for the rest of the game. Parkview creates a turnover, gets the ball 2 plays later than the end zone. This really could not start better for Parkview.
What a shocker. Solomon Aguilar nailed the extra point. Quickly, Parkview is up 7-0.
Hard to think of a better start for Parkview and a worse start for DeQueen.
Absolutely. This is a beautiful night for football. All of a sudden, the sun is gone. The air is cooling down. Here's the replay right here. Look at Cameron. Get off me.
There's just when you're moving defenders down the field, so you put them on skates going backwards. You can't do anything. Your linebackers are getting caught up in the wash there. So DeQueen really, what you saw there when you push the defensive line backwards as far as you are, the linebackers have no chance. And if you don't have a headhunter of a safety coming up, there's not much you can do as seen on that last play.
9:34 on the game clock. Most of that was eaten up by the DeQueen offense as they were moving on the ground pretty quickly. And as you said, that's their game plan pretty much.
The triple option attack is all about ball control, and I understand that they clearly, as they demonstrated, that they have more in the bag than just that. But clearly, I think coaches would have gone back and maybe run a traditional play that they're more comfortable with. But they're trying to break something open early. They're trying to create their own momentum on the road against the #1 team in the state.
Ball is teed up again. Solomon Aguilar at the 40. And he sends a rocket. This one's going to be returned. Not at all into the end zone for a touchback.
I think they learned their lesson after the last time. Just let it go into the end zone. Don't create any more negative plays. No more turnovers. Look, obviously the game is far from over. We're 9:34 to go in the first quarter. DeQueen has got to settle down, get back to what they do, try to get their guards up to the second level, kind of shave off some of the linebackers from their speed for Parkview, and see if they can get 2, 3, 4 yards a pop, create 3rd and short, get them in a position to control the ball, milk some clock, and get in a rhythm and just try to feel better about themselves right now and give the defense a chance, because their defense just got punched in the face. They've got to have a chance to relax.
1st and 10 from their own 20. Another handoff up the middle. Only going to gain a yard.
Kind of an interesting formation. It's a stacked eye. It kind of looked like a power eye, but they moved the second fullback up almost to a wingback position. You can see a lot of traditional formations coming out of DeQueen tonight.
So it is a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9. Clock's going to continue to roll. Will's over here multitasking. He's still got the clock completely, perfectly synced.
And come out in that similar set. Looks like they're going to move their fullback more into a wingback position.
Another option, this time a toss to the left. Man and Penny got there to him, and he flies under the bench. in the Parkview sideline. That was number 4, Ulysses Cotto. I hope I'm saying that right.
Great example of what DeQueen is needing to do. First down, 1 or 2 yards. They're continuing to chip away at the middle of that Parkview defense. Pop it to their scat back who can make the edge. It was perfectly executed. This is why you don't abandon what you do well, even though you're in 3rd and long.
Yes.
Sometimes a tactical retreat is the best option.
Ball now at the 34-yard line. Binkley's going to hand it off. Cotto again. This time going to be swarmed by black jerseys. Only going to be a gain of 2 yards.
That's a nice little trap play, though. Again, it gets them on schedule. This is what they need to do. They've got to move the football small increments, and then they can pop some of these 10-yard runs. And every once in a while, you may open up a hole, and you get your fastest guy on the field who's going to be just as fast as the fastest guy on the Parkview field.
Officially, it was a gain of 3 yards, so now 2nd down and 7.
They're taking their time, trotting to the line. You'll see some quick snaps, but generally speaking, they're going to milk this clock.
Another handoff up the middle to Cotto. And another gain of 1.5 yards. Bring up 3rd down. I know.
I love the flashy offense. I love watching what Parkview does with the way with the motions and the eye candy and the way they move the football. There's something about it. I do love this old school ground and pound, line it up, see what you can do. There's not a lot of flash. They, obviously they'll try to trick you with the option, but generally speaking, they're going to tell you what they want to do.
3rd down and 5. They got to get to about the 45. They tried to do some trickery there.
Looking for the whistle. And all of a sudden, Binkley was running for his life, waiting for the whistle.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Yeah, this is what you cannot do if you're DeQueen. You have got to stay on schedule. They had 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 5 for them is something. I would not at all be surprised if we saw them go for 4th and 2 all night. But now you're all of a sudden you're back 3rd and 10. That really puts you off schedule if you're DeQueen.
It's the little things in life that are amazing. Will and I just looked at each other as that call was being made by the white hat, and we were just like, oh, yeah, that ref mic is legit. So now 3rd down and 10. Run another option. Binkley that time is pretty much teeter-totter one way and then tackled the other.
Yeah, they had bad pitch relation on that shot. You go back and look at the replay on the video board here. You can see the running back just got too far separated from Binkley. Binkley maybe should have maintained his angle down the line a little bit farther. There was an opportunity there for them. I don't know if they could have picked up the whole 10, but they certainly had an opportunity.
Good job by Chris Edwards that time, as well as Amarian Robinson, who I almost beat at College Football 25, but only lost by 2.
Oh, well,
Unless,
put that one on your resume.
I was expecting much worse, but it came down to me missing a 2-point conversion.
Well, now look at this.
We got an offsides on.
Good ball. Coach with defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Now here we go. 4th and 3, 4th and 2. They are going to line up and go for it. This changes the game. We got the 5 yards back. This is a much more advantageous position for somebody like DeQueen.
I know I'm still going on about that, but that mic just sounds so clean. It sounds so good. I can get used to that. Wow.
DeQueen really hoping that you don't hear it too often with when they're on the field offensively, because they need a clean game if they're going to have a chance to hang in here tonight.
Let's see if they can convert from 4th down and 2. Binkley under center. He's going to take it. And I think they stopped his forward progression at the line to gain. This one's going to be a close call.
If they go on the far side, that is going. I mean, I can't imagine they're not going to measure. This is going to be really close.
Really close.
It was not a great push initially, but good effort by DeQueen and Binkley to just keep moving, trying to keep moving the pile.
He had to reach the 44, and that's where the ball is spotted, so 1st down.
They're going to give him, yeah. White hat says yes.
Going to move the chains.
Well, that's a good teaching moment there for Coach Bolding and his staff to go back and say, we had them, we did exactly what we needed. They made a mistake, we were able to snuff it out, but then our mistake gave them a chance and they took advantage of it.
Now whistles before the snap, calls the play dead, and there's a flag down.
It's obviously they slowed down the play there, but that was looked to be
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Maybe I'm not going to get used to that. That sounds so good.
At least with this, with the dead ball penalty, they keep the down. They were going to be 2nd and 13, if anything, because it looked like Chris Edwards was ready to come in and clean that one up real quick behind the line of scrimmage.
Clock's going to move again as we're under 5:50 and counting. Binkley going to hand it off. I believe that's Cotto again on the carry. Yes, it is.
Nice little cut back there by Cotto.
Yeah, and he almost made it back to the original line of scrimmage.
They're doing some interesting things. DeQueen is with their blocking. They pulled the guards that time and came in. They're blocking things up. They're not a straight veered, not straight zone. They're mixing it up offensively. What they want to do on the line.
Yes. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 10.5 essentially. They're just behind the original line of scrimmage, behind the 44-yard line.
And with DeQueen, they're saying if we can get 3 here and 3 on the next one, let's give it another shot. Empty set.
Yeah. He's going to keep it himself, running up the middle. And be stopped after a 2-yard gain.
That maybe we'll be watching this for the rest of the evening, see how they do. Those plays where they are pulling and trying to run a load play to one side or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Parkview's defensive front's so fast. It's
Yes.
going to be very difficult. I mean, they were able to sneak out 3 yards. That's going to be tough to do for the rest of the evening.
So now DeQueen facing 3rd down and 8. Still in their own territory.
Back in the gun.
3 wide. Quick play action, looking to his left. Now he's got to run as the pocket collapses, but he found a seam up the middle. Only going to get to the 48-yard line. As that was big team captain Kevin Ellis, I believe, and
Looks like Parsons came in
Braden
there,
Parson
too.
as well.
Midfield, this is kind of in between 4th and 6th they're going to call it. Maybe
4th and 5.
5.5, generously 5. Take your shot. I don't blame him. And change your cadence. Obviously, we're seeing Parkview a little jumpy. Maybe you get, if you're DeQueen, you get a little lucky and you were able to pull one off.
4th and 5. Let's see what they can do here. Looks to throw, fires, and he's got a man. That's Cotto down the sideline, and all of a sudden we're an extra point away from a tie game.
Very clean pocket that time. I was very impressed with the way DeQueen's offensive line held up. Cotto just leaked out a little wheel route. It was very well executed. Nice throw, too, by Binkley.
Yes.
Really nice, just right in the basket in time for Cotto. Didn't have to reach back at all. That was a very well executed play. Clearly, the Parkview defense was waiting on one of those option runs.
Yep.
To see if they could get to the outside. Nicely done. Good play call and very well executed.
That was senior to senior. Cole Binkley to Ulysses Cotto. PAT is up, and we're tied at 7 apiece. I believe that was a 52-yarder.
It was a 52-yard pass and catch. Again, perfectly executed.
Yeah.
Really liked that whole design concept. And again, I was watching the line, and it was, I mean, you couldn't pass protect any better.
Yeah.
I mean, if they could pass protect like that all night, we might see them move more of these one back, shotgun snaps rather than trying to line up and go toe to toe. I think it's a question of whether or not they're going to be able to have.
What a shocker there, Will. So, if you're joining us from our Mills broadcast, hi guys. I miss you too. We're working out the issues over at the Mills Sports Network broadcast. They're in Heber Springs tonight. Heber Springs being in the foothills of the Ozarks, not known for its internet connection. I can say that because I'm from there. So, working on that right now. But for now, at the very least, you can watch that game at the YouTube channel 101.9 The Lake. That's the Heber Springs channel. As a onside kick quickly returned just as it passes 10 yards. That was Kevin Ellis again.
He was sitting right there.
Yep.
Clearly, there was a lot of tape on this because the front line for Parkview did not move an inch on the kick. And, hats off to DeQueen. I think that's one of those things where you look at the coaching staff and you say, Coach Bell, why not? Give it a shot. you are trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Look, you're 7-0. You tell your defense, looks like, come on, guys, get us a stop. The offense has got some confidence now. Now it's time for Parkview to go out and kind of lean on them a little bit more and see what they can do.
There's Murphy on the play action, finding a man, got him! To the end zone. Oh, Mouse, he dropped it as he goes down at the 3-yard line. Jace White.
That is talk about a quick response, quick strike. Once again, unlike the scoring play for DeQueen, this ball was slightly underthrown. Had to come back and wait on it just a little bit for White. And it looked like he was going to tiptoe his way into the end zone anyway.
Yeah. He caught it in stride, but the Queen defender caught him, and now he's first and goal from the 4. Murph to Settles. Touchdown.
I mean, it's like a hot knife through butter right now offensively. There are 4 plays and 2 touchdowns for the Parkview Patriots. One group that is not at all rested is going to be the Parkview defense.
Oh, yeah.
Coach, they may be happy because they're probably getting an earful right now after that last gasp, after the last
I could see.
gaff. So they're going to be excited to get back out on the field and get away from it chewing right now.
Coach Brad Bowling talks about just how, when you get when he yells at a player, he's yelling at the mistake, not the player personally, as Solomon Aguilar. PAT is good. As
Mr. Reliable.
Yeah, he was talking about, Solomon only missed 1 kick this entire season. That was his first kick of the year down in Melissa. And Coach, did his thing, got in his face, hey, come on, you can do better. And all of a sudden, Solomon's been automatic since then. And Coach has been nothing but encouraging. And as I was saying, Coach Brad Boulding, when he gets in your face and he's getting on to you for making a mistake, he's yelling at the mistake, as he said. He's not yelling at you, the player, like, oh, you're terrible for doing this and this. He said, no, you can do better because I know you can. Now, look at this pass from Q to Jace.
And just slightly underthrown. Really had a chance. That's timing. Just got to get the ball out faster. But didn't matter a whole lot because next play, look at this. Cut right through. Nice, small little cutback lane, but he found it, and that's all you needed, just a small crease.
Well, let's see how this Parkview defense can bounce back from that one mishap, because I could see there was a lot of – I know we're all the way up here, but I could already see that Brad Bowling's face was red from that mishap. So let's see how they bounce back.
Koto was lined up in a wing position. He wasn't so he probably just got lost in the as he ran that wheel along the edge. Just a missed assignment. There's nothing more than that.
It's an onside kick this time, recovered by the Patriots. Money got it.
They did anything you can do, we can do better, apparently, as Coach Boulding called the onside kick. It was almost the exact same kick that DeQueen tried to execute.
Yeah.
And perfectly executed this time by the Patriot special teams.
Here's the replay. Look at this. Solomon made it look like he was doing a regular kick, and Elston was ready for it. He was following the ball all 10 yards.
I couldn't tell who that looked like. It was Julio Soto that was recognized it a little bit too late for DeQueen. Came running in, and by the time he got there, it was way too late.
The Parkview defense.
Yeah, maybe Coach Boulding just needed a little bit more time to do some corrections over there and didn't want him out on the field quite so quickly.
Q's going to have to throw it quickly. Gets the first down and then some. That's Kyron Marshall.
Nice job. That was a nice job seeing Q kind of go through some progressions. He really wanted to go deep, came back to the intermediate route. That was a smart quarterback decision because you can see he kind of wanted to tuck and run, but he found his player. He found his receiver downfield. A little bit of laundry on the field too.
Yeah. That's a cool sounding chant. My goodness, that was loud. I like it. Here's the call.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty in previous spot, first down.
Q had a little bit of help finding the extra time to go through his progressions, it looks like.
Yep. We talk about, it's easy to talk about in this offense, Money Ellison and Man, but we've got some other receivers that we're lining up in 4 wide. These guys are all fantastic athletes. And there's one right there, Cameron Settles. Quick run, lowering his shoulder, running through a man. And if he didn't go out of bounds, he probably could have knocked out a couple more heads.
Good thing that he's got the skills that he has, because Marcus Hill just got beat on the left side, and number 65, he was able to, thankfully, the Q was able to get the ball handed off. I was afraid there was going to be a collision at the exchange.
So now 2nd down and 15. Ball at their own 46. Q's going to throw. Quick screen to the left. Trying to find a seam, and a great gain that time. That was Kyrick Fulks.
Yeah, it was a nice job. It was obviously it was a one-read decision. You're going to go either the inside or outside receiver right there. And I like the way the receivers communicated, because as soon as the ball was thrown, they were blocking.
Yes.
There was no hesitation.
3rd down and 4. Offense changing up the play.
Yeah, a little check with me, seeing what the defense is doing.
A little bit of a high snap. Murphy's going to throw a screen to Elston. Elston trying to find a hole down the far sideline. Still on his feet, making guys miss, snapping some ankles in the process. He's finally pushed out of bounds at the DeQueen 20-yard line.
That was some Joe Adams type footwork right there on the sidelines. With Arkansas getting ready to take on Tennessee this weekend. Look at this, he's a little step back, fights him off, just a kind of a quick back step, and then goes right ahead down to the 20. Excellent footwork there.
He found his way to the end zone doing just that last week at Hot Springs. Looking like Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl. Quick play action. Murphy, man, touchdown, Parkview, just like that.
That was another great and the way Q held the safety with his eyes, he looked like he was going to that intermediate route. Nice job on the cut. Very good route on the skinny post to the deep side. It got inside of his defender. All he had to do was get a good throw, and it's exactly on the money that time. And Marion did what he does. Caught the ball in space and made a play.
He makes these acrobatic catches look easy.
And it was not perfect. It was a good ball. I mean, you expect anybody to catch it, but Marion's a bigger kid. 6'1", big wingspan.
Yep.
He still had to get up and extend his hands, but he did it. And it's a tribute to these guys. Play together a lot. They played a lot of football together, and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be really good. You can see on this replay here. Watch sets that up on that underneath receiver. He was eyeballing that receiver. You see the safety sink down, and that created the space. Really well done. That little pat, that's all it took.
That was a good pass, too, by Murphy. Glad to have him back on the field. He sat out last week, and I kind of assumed that we'd still see more of Emmanuel Bunting, because Bunting is a really, really good quarterback.
Yeah, I really liked seeing Bunting in the cleanup work they did against Bryant. I know that you want to go with the experience, and you want to go with the guy you've been working with all through fall camp.
Yeah.
But Parkview is really going to be in a good position for times to come with two really good quarterbacks, and we may get to see Bunting later today too.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, what was a tie ball game, Parkview was up by 2 touchdowns, and here's Solomon Aguilar keeping DeQueen on their toes as his last kick was non-side. This one, just a regular kick. The return from the 5. That's Cotto. Looking to his left, crosses the 20 to the 25 is where he's finally wrapped down. That was number 22, Dak Crosby, with the tackle that time.
This is a good return. This DeQueen now. It was a good move, smart move by Coach Bolding to call for the onside. To you just kind of you don't want to give DeQueen any chance. You don't. They had some momentum. I know Parkview went down and scored, but still they're feeling really good offensively. Well, now you keep on the sidelines a little bit longer, knock them out of that rhythm a little bit.
Spot the ball officially at the 26-yard line, 1st and 10 with just under 2 minutes to go. You have Dakota in motion, and he's got nowhere to go. Ja'Cory Smith met him and then threw him down late. It's just after the whistle, but no flag.
The challenge that's DeQueen's going to have to face, and they've obviously overcome it a couple of times, is just the quickness of the defensive line for Parkview. And they've got to think about these quick hits, and then if they can drop into because Parkview was thinking run first, it should make the pass protection a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But if they're going to be committed to running on first down, it's going to make things a little more difficult.
2nd down and 8. Binkley going to keep it himself off the fake handoff, and he's going to be swarmed by some Patriots. Quite a few of them down there on the tackle.
Yeah, good discipline that time, and I was impressed with who was that? That was Marion Liddell. He was able to get through and hold the position, and strong kid was able to keep Binkley on, from getting away with just his right arm while the rest of the Patriots arrived.
Now it's 3rd down and 7. It's probably the quickest first quarter that I can remember.
Well, and, I think we were cruising to be done 5 minutes ago before Parkview decided to go for the onside kick.
Yeah. Binkley's going to keep it, quickly toss it to Cotto, and he's got nowhere to go. That was a bit of a late toss as the Parkview Patriots defense read that one. Those guys were all over it. Jace White was one of them.
Good discipline there too, because they were really they ran misdirection. They ran they pulled their the left side of the line to the right side. I was watching Jeremy Edwards. He was there ready to take on the pulling guards.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, the late pitch on the far side. It was, it's just that sort of stuff probably works against some of the teams they play. They're just not going to work that well against a team at this speed.
You know, the one thing I don't like about this Parkview defense is that a lot of times they swarm to the ball. There's so many guys on the tackle. It's hard to give each and every one of them credit because I love giving these guys the credit they deserve.
Yeah, well, it's a gang tackle, and it is hard to figure it out because they all get there, it seems, at the same time.
And so we'll pause for a quick break because that's the end of the first quarter, 21-7. It's your score. We'll be right back on the Patriot Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports.
Let them experience captivating research opportunities. Let them experience more hands-on opportunities with new technology. Let them experience cutting-edge career pathways. Let them experience creativity and expression through the arts. Let them experience more opportunities to innovate and compete regionally and nationally. More opportunities for kids. It's what sets Little Rock School District apart.
Alongside Will Watkins and Brett Kincaid, I'm Trip Keeter. Welcome back to the Patriot Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. Patriots in the lead, 21-7 as we begin the second quarter of play. Oh, oops. Sorry about that.
DeQueen had time to think about it. I think they were a little indecision. The quarter break gave him a chance to rethink things and bring out the punt unit.
They're going to fake it. Going to roll it out to the right. He's got some room, and he loses it. What a hit by Ja'Cory Smith. Has that earned an ooh by the Parkview crowd? Jake Martin tried to run it himself, was just about 3 yards short. He's got a shoulder pad popped out of his jersey after that hit.
I hope it's just the pad.
It absolutely is. He was quick back on his feet, so he's okay.
A freight train right there coming through, like Ja'Cory just came in like a rocket. It was in real time watching it. If the punter runs up as the pitch option, that play has a chance. That was this looked like it was moving in slow motion a little bit, which, as we've discussed, is not something that's going to work well against this Parkview speed.
Now turnover on downs. Patriots on offense again. Quick handoff to Settles. And look out, shaking and baking, and he's going to take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Parkview. Another TD for the future Hog.
I don't know that you'll find a more efficient offense operating in the state of Arkansas than this one tonight. That's what, 7 plays, and this is the 4th touchdown of the game.
27 on the score for Parkview, and it's been mostly 27. Cameron Settles with the majority of those points.
I mean, it was nothing fancy. This is what Parkview does. They line up. They're going to make you stop the run, and the minute you think you do, they're going to beat you deep on a post like we saw earlier.
We got trouble with the snap, and now Man-Man's going to have to pick it up and run it into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. And did he get it? He was reaching for the pylon, and he got it. He was thrown into the wall on the side. Thankfully, there's pads there.
Yeah,
it looks like he's
been,
okay.
Could have been dangerous there, but yeah, even when things go wrong, they go right tonight for Parkview.
It looked like Man-Man looked like he got tackled in an arena football game. And speaking of, hey, check out the Hot Springs Wise Guys, courtesy of my good friend Chris Goodman.
The Wise Guys are back again on the replay here. It's just a simple inside zone. Makes that safety make a bad decision and then makes him pay. This is football 101. Line it up, open to small holes, see if your back can get through. Small little crease is all he needs. Good job on the offensive line of getting, everybody met their man, got to the second level. You tell your running back, is you are one-on-one. I'm betting that you beat the other guy, and that was a good bet this time.
Here's the replay of Man-Man on the foot race to get that 2-point conversion. That was a pretty good hit. That was Rusty Bermio on the hit. Yeah, number 6.
Yeah. He came through. It looked like he wasn't going to close, and boy, he hit an extra gear when he thought he had a chance.
Now 29-7 as our scores. That may have been the last series offensively that we've seen that we could see any starters on the field.
Yeah, this is one where you want to get everybody enough playing time to stay fresh before heading on the road next week. But at the same time, boy, you really don't know what you're going to get into in the second half. You want to make sure everybody's fresh and healthy heading into next week.
Look at that boot into the end zone that time.
It's obviously critical time for DeQueen. They found some success in that first series, and in the first quarter, they were able to do some things. Clearly, they got on the board and granted it was a 4th down, but they caught Parkview sleeping a little bit, got a busted coverage. They've got to do more. They can't rely on those. They've got to move the ball. Stick to what you know. Make yourself feel good. Get 3 and 4 yards a pop and see if you can keep a drive sustained for a little while.
New set of downs for DeQueen from their own 20. Quick handoff to Cotto. Up the middle, only going to gain 6 yards.
That's a nice little design there, though. That they had Cotto as a wing back and looked like it was going to be a toss to the one back, but we're able to just kind of keep the flow, keep him moving. They were able to pull the tackle. He got through a little bit of a hole. This is exactly what they need. 6 yards is great for somebody like DeQueen in a game like this. Shorten the game. See if you can eat up some clock, go down and get some points, and see if you can try to hang in this thing.
I'm always 1 yard shy of my official call because officially it's now 2nd down and 3. We're going to hand it off to the left side to Cotto again. And now we got a flag on the far side down near the Parkview sideline. It's going to be a false start.
It looks like they got an alignment issue for DeQueen there. Not sure they had everybody on the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation on White. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Yeah, it looked like on the far side, the split in there was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. In this offense, it's called split. I know wide receiver, most offenses, in this flex bone, that's old school 70s, 80s, early 90s terms.
So now it's 2nd down and 8 after that penalty. And that took away a really good run, too.
Well, and that's, man, you hate to see it for any team, good for Parkview, but when you have any sort of success and you shoot yourself in the foot, it really can be deflating.
And the gun this time. Binkley's going to keep it himself, and he has nowhere to go. I made the mistake of trying to watch that play from the monitor and then our camera go.
Well, and on that play, it was effectively the same play they ran on 1st down where they were able to pick up 6.5 yards. On this time, Parkview was ready for it. He's too smart, too fast, too experienced of a team for Parkview. You can't run that play multiple times in a row like that.
So now 3rd down and 8.
It's interesting watching how their offense operates.
Yeah.
Cole Binkley comes to the sideline to get the play pretty much every time. There's there are no hand motions or no cardboard box, cardboard signs. There's no player shuttling in the plays. The quarterback comes in to get it himself.
Binkley under center. Going to hand it off and nowhere going. I believe that was Cotto that time on the carry again, and it was.
That was the smart play that time to go ahead and just try to prevent mistakes. I was watching Carlos Hernandez, number 60. He really locked in and had a great block. It just wasn't enough. Carlos Hernandez is on the play that time for DeQueen. He was able to establish his dominance on his block, but nobody else behind him. And clearly the rest of the Parkview defense was up to go back and make sure that nothing got squirrely on that one.
Neither team has punted the ball yet. Last time DeQueen lined up, it was a fake. And this time it is going to be an actual punt away. And Jermaine Penny is going to get under it. He's going to flip it to Man-Man. As that fooled everybody on DeQueen. Man-Man with a foot race, only one man to beat, trying to get down the sideline. As if it wasn't for that extra push, he would have been in the end zone.
That was
wow.
Beautifully designed and executed. That and the entire special teams for DeQueen went to the right, flipped it, went to the left, flipped it back. I mean, nothing but green space for 40 yards.
I mean,
before
look
Man-Man
at
finally
this.
got
That was
clipped.
very, very subtle. And look at that. Man-Man saw nothing but green, had to make a couple of moves. And if it wasn't for that one broken tackle and then that push by Esteban Alvarez, he would have gone in for 6. It was Alvarez that could be pretty much credited with the stop, but it was still at the 5-yard line.
I mean, it was 25 yards before he even saw a white shirt. And then it took 3 different Leopards to try to bring him down.
This time we got Dak Crosby behind Murphy in at running back. Crosby up the middle. It's going to be stopped at the 1.
Oh, they're gonna give him a hard time for that one in the film room. He had it just a step to the outside. He had touchdown.
I believe Dak has only got 1 touchdown on the year. Someone fact check me on that one. I'm only thinking from memory here.
Trying to get him another one right here.
Crosby. There it is. Touchdown, Parkview.
It's just a matter of time when Parkview has the football right now. They can do anything they want. This is exactly who Parkview is exactly who you think they are. They are going to line up. They're going to run you over. And this is the speed, the interchangeable parts, too. That's the thing that's so impressive with Parkview. They've got kids after kids that can come in and get the job done.
We're going to have Solomon Aguilar lining up alongside Marion Robinson for the extra point. As the previous extra point attempt had a snap issue, this time the snap is good. Ball is up and through the uprights. 36-7 is a score that I'm sure most fans expected in this game.
Well, if you're, Richard Bell, the head coach at DeQueen, you're scratching your head. You're trying to figure out what can we do. What can we do right? What can we do to make our kids feel a little bit better about themselves? What can we do to make them feel like we need to, we got to keep our heads up. We can't run in our JV squad because there aren't enough kids to do it.
Yeah.
So you've got to find something that you can do. The playbook is probably pretty limited for them right now. What can you do to create space, get 2, 3, and 4 yards at a time, and then hopefully you can pop something every now and again? Because otherwise, this is just going to continue. The Queen defense simply does not have the horses to keep up. They simply don't, and that happens a lot when Parkview is in conference play.
A great group of Parkview fans. Some DeQueen fans made the long drive up here to Little Rock as well. That's not an easy trek.
Yeah, it's Crow Flies is we say not so bad, but you got to go through the river, go over the river and through the woods to get here from DeQueen.
Literally, in my case, coming from North Central, but they're coming from, I think it's southeast Arkansas.
Pride of Sevier County, DeQueen Leopards, home of the best weekly newspaper in the state, the DeQueen Bee.
Returned by Cotto. He caught it at the 7-yard line. He's going to be taken down at the 15, probably just past it. Looks like they're going to spot it.
I think you're going to find out, what we'll see is the toughest kid in Sevier County is Ulysses Cotto or Cole Binkley.
Sideline warning from Parkview. Okay, 1st and 10.
Interesting. That's not often that you hear that as a well of a disciplined team from Parkview. That's not a common penalty to receive, or at least a warning.
And admittedly, I wasn't looking at what they had.
No,
Very well may have bumped into one of the officials on that play.
So it's going to be first down and 10 for DeQueen from their own 17.
They're in. They're going to go back to that shotgun formation, see if they can get some space this way.
Going to look to throw as he's going to be wrapped up and brought down. Absolutely wrestled to the ground. That's number 59, Billy Moore.
That's too bad for DeQueen right there because they just didn't have time. Trent Matthews ran a nice route in middle intermediate right. You can see him come here. He cuts across, and he is open on the boundary side of the field. Just didn't have time to get the ball to him.
He had a fistful of Cole Binkley's jersey. Just said, get over here, and brought him down in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 8. Wow.
They had the one long touchdown pass where they had great pass protection. This was just the play took too long to develop.
Binkley this time looking to throw again, rolling out to his right, fires, and nowhere to go. And nobody open. He had to throw it into the Parkview sideline. A rare stoppage on the clock as with DeQueen on offense, but it's going to bring up
and
third down
once
and long.
again, he had a receiver.
We got a
open.
flag on the field.
It looked like Trent Matthews again on the deep side, but again, just no time. He can't get the ball out.
Flag is lying just in front of the DeQueen sideline.
Illegal formation on offense. That penalty is declined. Third down.
That's their second illegal formation penalty of the game.
Yeah, they're having a hard time getting lined up with their splits. That's again, if you're not running this formation on a regular basis and your receivers aren't accustomed to checking with the side or field judges, it's not uncommon.
Now it's third down and 18.
You can see field judge here is telling Matthews to get lined up on the onside.
Binkley rolling out to his left that time, somehow complete, as that's Cotto on the reception as he bumped into a Patriot while making that catch. My goodness, I think that was Jermaine Penny on the coverage, who was just a bit short trying to get to that one. No, that was Ja'Cory Smith.
And Binkley was, running backwards away from his body on his back foot, somehow threw a disappearing ball that showed up in Cotto's hands. That easily could have and probably should have been picked off.
Now fourth down and 5. Man, and Penny back deep to return.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have a false start.
It's everybody went down to a 3-point stance.
Dead ball. False start. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Everybody went down in 3-point stance except for the right tackle. He bobbled when everybody else went down, and it's an easy call.
So now it'll be fourth down and 10 after that penalty.
I mean, again, this, DeQueen's just having a hard time getting anything going around. They're shell shocked, and I don't blame them. I mean, they're getting, they were getting some traction early and nothing.
Trouble with the punt that time, and it's going to be returned. Cameron settles. He's got some room and a touchdown. I mean, echoes of Arkansas versus Texas 2021. Cameron settles, the future Hog, gets a touchdown off the blocked punt. Is that hit a Patriot who wasn't even reaching for the punt, and it lands in the hands of Cameron Settles.
I mean, when it rains, it pours, both good and bad right now. I mean, for Parkview, they can't do anything wrong. I mean, they simply can't do anything wrong. And for DeQueen, they can't do anything right. That turns into what is now a 42-7 match waiting on the extra point.
The final score for this matchup last year was 54-7, and we're quickly approaching that. It's not even halftime yet.
Well, it happened so fast. Penny was on the sidelines. He wasn't expecting to come out and get out of here for the extra point attempt.
We'll see the instant replay of that one after we see the king do his duty, Solomon Aguilar. PAT is good.
It was an untraditional block and scoop and return. Bad snap. He just
It was Jeremy Edwards who was in front of it at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it looked like he just ran into it.
Yeah, he did. The kick basically was a line drive right into him, basically hit his helmet.
That was, it really was, it was almost like an accidental block.
Yeah.
We'll see it on this angle right here. Edwards is just running. He doesn't even extend his arms. He doesn't even hit his.
The ball hit the ground is what Will's saying. We're going to have another angle here from our sideline cam, I thought. Will's working on it. Let's watch here. Will's saying that the ball hit the ground. I think it from this angle, it looked like it hit Edwards, but I see what you're saying, Will. It might have just went
When it hit his elbow or his forearm and went in the ground.
Possibly.
We have to Zapruder this one, go back and frame by frame.
We're going to have to see, because I know we had a sideline camera looking at it. I don't know if we got the replay from that angle, though. No, we do not, so whatever. Jeremy Edwards, you get the cred.
It's a block, a scoop, and a score is what it is, and then now it's a 43-7 ball game.
Here's Aguilar booting it away again, as he was showing that he can make it to the end zone. Cotto is going to bobble it. He's got to pick it up quick. And he's going to be wrestled down at the 22-yard line that time. And
yeah, fell forward and was able to. Here's
the angle again. Let's watch the ball. No,
it hit him in the arm. Just hit him in the arm.
Jeremy Edwards, you are the man for that play. As Will try to take away your cred, give it to the turf. No, sirree.
Yes, Jeremy Edwards Sr. on homecoming. He's getting it. He's getting it. And now we see the Queen go back to the bread and butter.
6.5 minutes before halftime. Handoff up the middle. That's a new running back.
We go to the fullback this time.
Can't tell what number that was. I'm not getting a good view of him.
And it is.
Is that number 10? Is that Drayden Bennett on the carry, number 10?
It was. This is the type of offense that we kind of, at the outset, we expected to see. To see them pound the middle and try to test the edges. But when you get behind, and especially that first quarter when they had an opportunity and just kind of squandered it, that's really where things started to fall apart. Yeah,
that is Bennett on the carry, the fullback. I didn't really have a good view.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
I will happily stop talking if it means the ref mic comes on again. I love hearing it.
You got Drayden Bennett as the I back, and you got Ryland Pickett as the fullback.
Okay.
They're cycling some of these players around right now.
I didn't get a good view of the number on his jersey. I couldn't tell if it was a 10 and 18. I couldn't tell. So.
Well, one thing about the Queens, they're not running traditional numbers in the backfield.
No.
Not 20s and 30s.
Now we have second down and 13.
And we got Drayden Bennett dot in the eye.
A quarterback keeper that time as Binkley tried to fake the Parkview defense.
Yeah, Jacory was having none of that. He came in, and the option football defense is assignment football.
Yes.
And Jacory was like, I'm getting the quarterback.
Yes.
This is my job. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but I know my job is to hit the quarterback.
Absolutely.
He did it very well. He did his job very, very well just then.
So now it's going to bring up third down and long situation here for the Queen. 3rd and 15, the official call from their own 16.
Oh, yeah, they're having a hard time lining
up. Yeah, they're having
still.
confusion there on where Bennett needs to go. A roll out to the right, almost intercepted. Jacory Smith got his hands on it, but it was just too high for him.
Almost intercepted a couple of times right there. That was a dangerous ball. It's when the ball is tipped, it seems like it stays in the air forever when you're the one who threw it. I know that it's tough sledding right now, and Binkley just doesn't have time and rhythm to throw. He's taking chances that he probably wouldn't otherwise take.
Yeah.
And, it's when not only is it obviously a very lopsided score and you're having a hard time executing, but they have been inside their 30 since the third possession of their offensive possession. They haven't been outside of that the whole time. Outside of that,
Another lining up for another punt here. It's going to be a short one, as it might have hit the laces of his cleats. It's going to roll just into somehow into Parkview territory.
That was a knuckleball that was like a Bob Uecker used to say, the best way to catch a knuckleball is wait for it to stop rolling. That was the exact thing that happened right there on the punt. Is you couldn't tell where he got a good bounce. I mean, that's you got. DeQueen needs some good luck. They got a little bit. The ball's finally on the other side of the 50 for the first time in half an hour.
That's true. So Parkview's going to have it from their own 48. Has not really been that same song here tonight. And look at that. Emmanuel Bunting coming out on the field at quarterback. Started last week at Hot Springs. Played an amazing game. And now we get to see him, as I believe Q was going to rest for the remainder of this ball game.
You see Bunting and Crosby's in the backfield with him. We're going to start seeing some of the future Patriot starters coming into the ball game.
Quick double handoff is now Montario Elston. Untouched all the way, 52 yards. Money. The ATM is still open. Touchdown, Parkview.
That you couldn't draw it up better. I mean, I'm
No,
sure
you could not.
I'm sure that on the chalkboard they had to erase a few times, and they couldn't do it as well as this. This was absolutely perfectly blocked, perfectly executed. He found the green space, hit the hole hard. I mean, that's one thing you can always tell with Money is when he sees a crease, the kid is going through it as fast as he possibly can.
And this game has just gone by so fast, not only on the clock, but also on the ground.
I mean, well, and again, we'll do a stat check at halftime, but Parkview's run maybe 20, 22 plays offensively at the most. Got one special team score. I mean, there's every time they touch the ball. Every time they touch the ball, they're getting into the end zone. And I think I overestimate. I'm going to guess over under at 16 offensive snaps for Parkview thus far.
I'll have to double check it, but like I said earlier, the final score of this game last year, Parkview won 54-7. Now we're 4 points away. We're a touchdown away from surpassing that. We're still in the second quarter. So now it's safe to say that players as good as Montario Elston will probably not be seeing the field for the rest of this game.
That's his homecoming swan song right there. I don't expect that we'll see the senior get it back out on the field again.
We saw Man get a touchdown. We saw Cameron Settles get a couple, and now Money got into the end zone. So I think all of the headline players, as I call them, because I've talked about this before. It's really, really easy to only focus on Montario Elston, Amarian Robinson, Quentin Murphy. But there's a lot and just so much talent on this Parkview team that gets overlooked a lot. And now tonight is a fantastic opportunity with a lead this big before halftime. We get a chance to see him.
Well, we'll almost certainly see a running clock for the second half.
Yes.
So you're going to have limited number of snaps anyway. And we talked about this, the building a culture of championships that Coach Bolding has done. And part of that is coming through and bringing in kids that get snaps and you get them ready for the next season during this season.
Cotto going to return it from the 5. He finds a hole down the left side, going to run it out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
As we just said, the entire outside of the second possession for DeQueen, everything has been inside their 30. Let's see if they can get past the 30 on this offensive series.
Yes.
Because, we talk about offensively, we're seeing some of the second string come in. I think we'll probably see that defensively as well. You want to get it's homecoming. You want to get your seniors enough playing time. Got family in town. It's their last homecoming in high school. So you want them to get out there and play, but at the same time, you got to protect the rest of the season. Actually, on the other side of 30 now.
1st and 10. Run up the middle. That was Bennett again that time, number 10. And now we're going to have a official's timeout.
Yeah, that's what are they calling stopping the clock for?
They might have seen a player slow to get up. They're having Cleveland Lee come out of the ball game for Parkview. So I wonder if he was probably shaken up on that play, but it looked like he jogged off the field pretty pretty smoothly, so I think he's okay.
And maybe I think obviously abundance of caution makes sense. You want to make sure if the ref sees something they don't like, get him out, make him get checked out.
2nd and 7. Carry up the middle, only going to gain a yard, maybe half that.
Once again, the defensive ends are holding tight. They are not letting anything happen on the outside. Ryland Pickett is just trying to find anything he can find between the tackles right now.
Cleveland Lee is going to come back into the game. That was number 95 who was coming in for him, but the number that ends on our Parkview roster is 82. So unfortunately, I don't know who that was wearing number 95. Do you have it right there? Right there.
No, we skipped 95 on this other sheet.
Well, hopefully we'll give him the credit soon. On 3rd down, for Nakoto, he's not going to gain a yard. He's going to be thrown to the turf by Micah Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Cotto or Binkley even wanted to hand that one on or hold the ball on that one because it was going nowhere no matter who had it. I mean, the triple option is all about deception. It's all about getting to the edge. It's about finding some sort of leverage point, and they're not finding anything right now.
It's now 4th down and 6.
And we were walking around the field earlier, and just a noticeable difference, right? I mean, just the size of the kids, the number of players on the field. This is an almost impossible task for DeQueen to come into this environment against this team and try to make it work.
Line drive punt returned by Jermaine Penny. Finds the corner down the left side. Gets some great blocks. Jermaine Penny untouched on the punt return. Touchdown, Parkview.
Nothing fancy. They did the action as though it might be a small pitch. But again, it's just he finds the hole, and there is nothing to stop him. There was not a leopard anywhere close to him until he got inside the 30. And even then, there was a good attempt, but he was nowhere close to even laying a hand on him.
I know for a fact I'm going to be hearing about that highlight later by Jermaine. Like, man, you were so loud.
Yeah, well, that was a loud score.
I've never met a player like Jermaine Penny who just gets so excited over a touchdown call like he does.
Well,
there's Solomon Aguilar, PAT. Shocker. Good.
Yeah, he also, it's his fault. He's so electric. What are you going to do? You're going to sit here and not say it? I mean, come on. The kid is truly just so much fun to watch.
Look at this. It was a line drive punt, going to be returned.
They had a little fake action there. Then he does a small half step, and then once he hits the corner, it's just over. He knows right there it's going to be a touchdown. At the 30, he knew.
It was a 59-yarder. Returning that line drive punt, and you could tell, he was like, there's my block, there's my hole, and there's the end zone.
Yeah, he knew as soon as he hit the 30 that he was scoring a touchdown. And
he just mesmerized by this highlight. Look at that. Just using his speed to his advantage as well.
I was going to say, he didn't. It was very well blocked on the half side, but he did the rest of the work from the 30. That was all him. He knew the angle. He knew he was going to be able to outrun everybody. He had one guy to miss. And he did it, and it was, again, he was pointing to the end zone at the 15 because he knew there was no way he wasn't going to get there.
Yep, no one was in front of him. Surprisingly, I'm looking at the scoreboard here. I just noticed neither team has called a timeout. We're only just under 2 minutes remaining. I would be shocked if either team called a timeout. Commentator curse is a very real thing, so now after I mention it, it's probably going to happen. But
I mean, aside from a play clock violation, there seems to be no reason to do it.
This one's going to soar into the end zone for another touchback. Solomon, hopefully he's getting used to where he can do that every single time, but at this point I feel like his leg's getting tired.
I would say they have a secondary kicker. It may be time to get that kicker a little bit of exercise. Although at this time I like watching Solomon kick so much, I kind of want to keep him out there.
I just saw Ulysses Cato. He threw that ball from in the middle of the end zone all the way out to about the 30-yard line. He just launched that football back he was like, hey, y'all got to get the football quickly. Yoink, and he just darted it to the sideline. Wow.
They need to try him out behind the center. I mean, it's not that Binkley has done what he could for it. It's not his fault.
He's going to hand it off to Cotto. Only going to gain 2 yards.
I've been impressed with Cotto, the limited touches that he's had. He's really made some plays. He's got some good speed. He seems to really have a sense of where the creases are. They just don't exist for very long, and you have to get there fast. This is why, I'm sure against Hope, that's a 6-yard play, and this is a 2-yard gain in this against Parkview. and frankly, lucky to get the 2.
Yeah. We do play Hope. I'll have to check the schedule. I believe it is next week on Thursday.
It is. It's a Thursday game, yeah.
A quick end around. That time it's Bennett. He's going to be stopped. It's number 42, Brendan Collier.
And give him a yard generously there. He fell forward. And yeah, at this point, okay, we got a minute to go in the half. They're going to, Binkley's on the side getting the play. Probably asking coaches, is there anything else you have up your sleeve that we can do? Because he's tired of getting smacked around. But this is where grit comes from. This is where you build. And any team, any program that is trying to build from a really rough season last year, right? They're going to go through this. This is going to be a tough coaching job for them coming up, not only in the second half, but really this coming week. This is a demoralizing situation. Mm-hmm. You got to build the kids up. You got to go into halftime and almost say, guys, what are we going to do? The Dallas Cowboys would have a hard time tonight.
That's not saying a lot. It was on third down. Cole Binkley, there was a communication error on offense there by DeQueen, and that's pretty much the story of the night for this Leopards team. And now that's going to run out the clock for the second quarter. As we know, it is homecoming night, so we'll bring you the halftime performances. And we'll come back afterwards to bring you our halftime report if we can get our hands on some stats. So keep it right here on the Patriots Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports.
Project Zero is a 501c3 nonprofit with one goal, and that is to have 0 kids in foster care waiting to be adopted.
And we're hoping to have 0 kids waiting. That's our whole goal, Project Zero.
It means no kid is forgotten, and there are people always fighting for kids to find their forever family, no matter how old they are.
There's not awareness out there. I don't think people understand the need that we have here in our own state for these children who are wonderful children waiting for forever families.
Let them experience captivating research opportunities. Let them experience more hands-on opportunities with new technology. Let them experience cutting-edge career pathways. Let them experience creativity and expression through the arts. Let them experience more opportunities to innovate and compete regionally and nationally. More opportunities for kids. It's what sets Little Rock School District apart. Let them experience passions through extracurriculars. Let them experience teamwork, discipline, and resilience through sports. Let them experience leadership and service to community. Let them experience on-the-job training through internships and job shadowing. Let them experience the excitement of performing through drama and dance. More opportunities for kids. It's what sets Little Rock School District apart. Let them experience captivating research opportunities. Let them experience more hands-on opportunities with new technology. Let them experience cutting-edge career pathways. Let them experience creativity and expression through the arts. Let them experience more opportunities to innovate and compete regionally and nationally. More opportunities for kids. It's what sets Little Rock School District apart.
Please welcome to the field your 2024-2025 Parkview High School cheerleaders. They are the direction of Miss Tamika Gold.
Yeah.
Please welcome to the field, the 24-25 Parkview High School Liberty Boys. The boys are under the direction of Mrs. Gina Hempton.
Trip Keeter alongside Brett Kincaid as the Parkview dance team seem to have run out of batteries as they've just kind of been. And here they come.
That's all you had to do.
They got
Curse is alive and well.
They got recharged. All right, let's shut up and let them perform. There they are, the Parkview dance team. I guess, Brett, as you said, they probably had some issues with the PA system, as the right song most likely did not play.
Yeah, I noticed that they're cycling through different options on the PA here at War Memorial, but the Liberty Bell's #1 song did not come on. But thankfully, they got something out of it. They're off the field, and now the DeQueen band gets out.
Now, DeQueen's marching band, they've been waiting patiently over there on the sideline. As now they're going to perform here at halftime. Hopefully, the clock on the board is at 0. Parkview is on the field. The Leopards are nowhere to be seen for their warm-up, so that just means extra warm-up time for both teams, and give the band some time to perform. As they do that, let's go over some first half stats for this ball game.
Yeah, they're kind of eye-popping. Stats for tonight's game, Trip. It's we talked about this early in the game. It was hard to believe it was once a 7-7 game, and DeQueen had some life.
Yes.
After the Cam Settles went for 9 for the touchdown on the second offensive snap of the game for Parkview after a DeQueen turnover. And then you had DeQueen on 4th down, 51-yard pass play, and all of a sudden you're thinking, wow, DeQueen's they're feeling a little punchy. They might actually come back and do something. But the pass to Soto, perfectly executed. They looked like a very poised football team. And then, they attempted the onside kick. Didn't go well for them. 2 plays later, all of a sudden, it's Cam Settles for a 4-yard touchdown run. And then Brad Bolding pulls the onside kick on his own, and then again 2 plays later, you got a Murphy to Marion Robinson touchdown for 20 yards, and all of a sudden it's 21-7.
Yeah.
Any momentum that DeQueen had kind of evaporated, and the second quarter was just all Parkview. They couldn't do anything wrong. 33-yard touchdown run for Cam Settles. Dak Crosby gets in the end zone on a 1-yard dive after a 9-yard run. It was a 2-play drive for 10 yards. And then you had Money Elson with the 52-yard run for a touchdown. Then Jermaine Penny with a 58-yard punt return. And we skipped over this Cam Settles 26-yard punt return as well. And then you got the block punt that set up a score. Like, it was just one after another, kind of when it rains, it pours. And the stats, again, kind of eye-popping. I'm going to play a little guessing game with you here. what do you think the total time of possession for Parkview was in this first half that they currently lead 57-7?
Well, it's obviously not higher than the time of possession for DeQueen. It felt like they've had the ball for the majority of this game.
That is an understatement. Parkview has put up 57 points while been controlling the ball for 4 minutes and 4 seconds of the ball game.
Oh, my goodness.
DeQueen dominating time of possession, 18-29 for them. The stat that is actually, to me, even more eye-popping is the total number of plays run through both teams. You've got DeQueen is through their 18 and a half minutes of possession, they have had 32 snaps for a total of 129 yards. That almost half of that coming on the one touchdown play. Parkview has snapped the ball 12 times offensively and has scored on half of those possessions and half of those snaps. And they have 223 yards total offense. It's just as dominating a performance you can have. Both teams have suffered a little bit of the penalty bug, but not too bad. DeQueen, theirs have been really timely, and the timely penalties have really hurt them. Just 5 for 26, but they had one that killed a drive, killed an opportunity, and then Parkview gave it right back to them. One of their 2 penalties, they had one holding call and then one 5-yard offsides encroachment call that actually helped set up the one Parkview touchdown. I mean, the one DeQueen touchdown. Pardon me. And then, but DeQueen had a couple of alignment issues. They couldn't get lined up. They got rattled, and suddenly they're only putting 6 guys on the line of scrimmage, and then they're getting called for it. It's just mistakes beget mistakes, and it certainly became a bigger problem. The only one sack. Not a lot of passing opportunities for DeQueen. They had the one sack for 8 yards for a loss of 8. But yeah, I mean, it's just utter domination on the scoreboard. The statistics would paint a different picture, but then you look at just the ball possession. Where Parkview has had the ball the entirety of the game. Yeah, and then where has DeQueen had the ball the entirety of the game? They had one possession start at the 31. Everything else has started inside the 30, and half of those have started inside the 20. It's just they have never had any rhythm outside of that second drive. After of course that came after the backwards pass that resulted in a fumble turnover for Parkview. They just you can't say much has gone well for DeQueen. I mean, God bless them. They're out there. They're trying. The kids are fighting. They just are fighting against a superior opponent tonight.
Yeah, and I think they've only ran about one play in Parkview territory. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's probably, you can only count it on one hand how few plays that DeQueen has played any snaps in Parkview territory, as their only score was 51 yards. So it's from their own.
That was from their half of the field. Yeah, I would have to go back and look at the actual snap by snap, but I don't know that they've actually executed a play from the line of scrimmage on the Parkview side of the 50.
I can't recall,
unless there was a penalty that pushed them back behind the line before that. I don't believe that happened.
And you made the point that the majority of their possession has been inside their own 30.
Yeah, so it's not even that they haven't been on the Parkview side. It's just they've been so deep in their own territory. Yeah, and when you're faced with that sort of pressure constantly, you had the pocket held up once in a passing situation, and they executed it perfectly, and it turned into a 52-yard touchdown pass. But before, outside of that, Parkview has been able to get into the backfield. They have been able to find every crease that the Queen might have. Parkview finds it first and shuts it down. There just has been no offensive continuity, no rhythm. The Queen is just fighting against a superior opponent tonight, and sometimes that just happens. You just run up against a team that's just better.
Queen's band, by the way, sounding absolutely fantastic during their, albeit belated, halftime performance, but they sound fantastic. And it's small town football when you still have some players wearing pads out there as members of the marching band.
I was just checking that. You see there are a couple of kids that are pulling double duty tonight for DeQueen that are putting on the helmet here as soon as they put away the drums. Because, again, small town football, you got to do everything. I grew up in one. I understand that.
And there they are, the DeQueen marching band. As both teams are back on their own sidelines, as after the technical difficulty with the PA system that delayed the Parkview dance team's performance, that also delayed, it subsequently delayed DeQueen's marching band performance. But now both teams are on the field. A couple of the band members, as we just mentioned, who were in the band are now sprinting to their sideline.
Yeah, I think Parkview MVP may be Andy Sparks, number 30, as he was the first of the two Parkview, of the two DeQueen Leopards that were pulling double duty. It looks like Mr. Kanan Billingsley is the second of the two. Oh, we got another one. I didn't see this. We got another player who's coming off the sideline who had their second half warm up is running from the Parkview side to the DeQueen side after the marching band performance.
And so it's safe to say with the 50-point deficit, we're probably not even we're going to see a running clock for the remainder of this game.
It was Jeremiah.
You would hope so, at least.
Jeremiah Cotto was our third band member. We're going to make sure we get these kids right. That's not easy to do. My hat's off to them for doing both.
Yeah. Like I said, that's pretty common in small town football, and it's really, really fun to see. Because, there's a stereotype where, athletes and band don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
This breaks that stereotype, so I love it. I mean, heck, do you think Will played a down of football? No, he was in the marching band in high school and in college. And here he is doing all the production stuff. He knows the ins and outs. He knows football 101. He could teach a class in it at ASUBB. So he's super football and band smart. So
you can do both.
Yeah, you can do both.
Be a Renaissance man.
So DeQueen is going to kick it off to begin the second half. Not something that we've been seeing much of here in this game.
Well, yeah, this will be their second kickoff. The first one didn't go so well.
3 Patriots back deep to return. It's going to be another low one. It just barely crosses 10 marks. We got a Patriot on top of the football. So Parkview is going to start in DeQueen territory. Let's see who that was on the recovery. That was number 57, Kevin Ellis.
Yeah, of course it was. Kevin's had a heck of a good game tonight. And, I on the one hand, I understand it. You're doing what you can, but this is with the running clock. I guess you just kind of head and just see if you can pull a rabbit out of the hat. And there was literally Kevin Ellis and nobody else that could have got that ball for Parkview. I know the coaching staff for DeQueen is going to be sick when they look at that tape and see there are 4 white shirts right there.
Here's Emmanuel Bunting throwing it out to his right side. That's a brand new receiver we haven't seen much of. And here he is making a statement early. First play from scrimmage. That's number 17, Devin Harris.
Yeah, and I remember from the Bryant game, Bunting throws a really tight ball. He's got some zip to it, and he got that out fast. And speed has been the name of the game so far for Parkview offensively. They get there fast. We've had. This is their 13th snap of the ball game, and it's going to come from the 26-yard line.
New set of downs quickly. Carry up the middle. That's Dak Crosby breaking a tackle. Almost spun away. He was going to be pulled down inside the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 19.
I believe this is the longest sustained drive of the night for Parkview now as we're pulling up on the 3rd snap of the second half.
Every time I say a yard line, they move the ball up or back 1. It's at the 20-yard line here.
It's the announcer's jinx.
Yep. Bunting. Hand off to Crosby up the middle. Dak gets a gain of 5.
Well, yeah, Dak is a hard runner, isn't he? I really thought he was going to break that last tackle there. Now, this is officially, we broke the record. This is the longest sustained drive of the night for Parkview. Snap number 4.
Yep. Emmanuel Bunting and Dak Crosby, both juniors here for Parkview. So once all the other, star players graduate, these guys will still be here next fall.
Yeah, and I think if you're Parkview, you're really excited about what Emmanuel Bunting brings to the table. Getting him some quality minutes in games is really going to pay off next year.
Bring a man in motion. They're going to give it to him on the touch pass. Finds the corner down the left side. Flag on the play. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Parkview. That's Elliott Bumpers. We'll see what the flag is, though. There might have been a hold in the backfield. That will be very unfortunate for Elliott.
Yeah, I think on the wing there, he actually sealed the block that'll help him get to the crease. Looks like there was a little tug of the jersey. Got too much white cloth in the hand.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Me and Will cannot get over how good that sounds. My goodness. And we get to hear it again next week. I'm really excited about that.
That was a difficult penalty there because you're in the end zone.
Yep.
And it affected the play, but only marginally. But I understand rules are rules, but that one was one that you kind of wish they may would have left the flag in the pocket.
Parkview will host Hope on Thursday next week. A low snap. Dak Crosby picks it up, but he's going to have to make something out of it. And looks like he's going to lose a couple yards after. That's really the worst play from scrimmage for the Parkview offense, and it's not even anybody's fault except for the center with a low snap. There's probably a miscue there.
Yeah, I mean that's just again imperfections are going to be part of the process here. The whole thing that is for that you're going to look at when you do coaching tape tomorrow is when you have that penalty, see what happens. It's not just it wipes out that play. It sets you up in a bad position. We saw this against Bryant. It was a problem then too.
Right side. Look at this. He's fast. As he found a seam, Marcus Barnes, who got his first touchdown last week at Hot Springs. And he is shifty. My goodness, he's a sophomore.
5'6" sophomore, little scat back, and he's going to be fun to watch develop for sure. That was a nice little move around the end. He found that seam, and he went there hard.
Can you imagine he works on his explosiveness and his speed over the offseason?
He's just a kid.
There's E-Man rolling out to his left. Another flag on the far sideline. Touchdown, Parkview. Elliott bumpers.
And maybe another one pulling back.
We'll see what the penalty is. It's going to be, illegal formation.
This is the same thing that the Queen was getting dinged with earlier.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty.
Okay.
Third down.
So this is an inexperienced group of Patriots offensively on the field, so you can give them some slack here. Because I mentioned Quincy Bruce. He's back on the field. Everyone's going to have some mess ups. Bruce, the center, as he had the low snap that brought Parkview back, and now illegal formation is bringing Parkview back more. This is a great opportunity for guys to just develop, because there's no better way to develop than actually playing live games. So this is a great opportunity for all Parkview Patriots on the field.
I don't imagine Coach Bolding's going to give them much slack.
No.
That's 2 penalties that have wiped off 2 touchdowns on this drive.
I'm going to give him slack, though. Bumpers this time, left side on the touch pass. Heading towards the sideline, going to be pulled out of bounds at the 12.
That's another where you look at that, and was that bumpers on the Elliott. He just had a chance to do the cutback. This is where these experienced reps matter. The more he gets that, his vision will improve. He had a seam on the backside. He just didn't look for it. Getting to play, getting in the games, seeing it live. You can see it in practice all you want, but if you don't get into the game and see it live, it's not going to help.
We're going to see a field goal attempt here. It's going to be a 28-yarder by Solomon Aguilar. Amarian Robinson holding. Good snap. Kick is up. Plenty of distance and through the uprights. His streak continues as the 60th point on the board belongs to Solomon Aguilar.
The touchdown streak is broken, but the scoring streak is not. 60-7 after the field goal. This is, again, the clock continuing to run. We're already halfway through the quarter. Of course, stopped for change of possession, but aside from that, the clock's going to keep running as soon as the ball is kicked off here, already halfway through the third quarter.
As we look at some other scores around the state, Benton is leading Sylvan Hills 49-0.
Oh, goodness.
And the Mills Comets at my hometown and alma mater of Heber Springs just scored a touchdown as I'm looking at the score. So now it's a 27-0 lead in the third quarter. That's homecoming for Heber Springs. And I don't know who scheduled Mills as the homecoming game for Heber Springs. They made a grave mistake.
They're taking it personally, it appears. Yeah, I'm scrolling through the rest and getting to the rest of the 5A.
Joti Robinson is leading Jacksonville 42-0. That's on the road.
Well, another eye-popping score from around the state. Bryant here in Little Rock now playing Little Rock Christian Academy. They are in the third quarter. Bryant, number 1, LRCA, number 9. It is 49-0 Hornets in the third quarter there.
This kick is going to be returned off the bounce, and he bobbles it, loses the football. Where did the ball even go? It disappeared into the turf. Who's got it? Looking at my monitor here, I'm seeing quite a couple of...
Let's see a white hat with the football.
A white helmet with the football. Montario Elston got it. Ja'Cory Smith got his arms around it too. The Parkview offense, even if they are the second team, they're not getting a break yet, as they're going to have the ball inside their own 10 from the 9.
Yeah, right back on the field for Parkview. Chance to, get some more snaps, and we talked about this. This is about getting live action, getting these kids some more opportunities. And now it's like if you're Coach Bowling, you're saying, all right, killer mentality, guys.
Yep.
We have a chance. Assume this game is 10-7. We want to go ahead and get some separation right here for these new guys.
There's Bunting. He's going to hand it off up the middle. Short gain there. That's Jaden Mayweather.
Yeah, Mayweather.
First time we've seen him carry the ball this year.
I imagine we'll see a lot of that inside zone for the rest of the night. They'll want to make sure to run the offense, but they'll obviously want to be respectful, especially of a conference opponent. But you want to make sure that these guys are getting meaningful snaps in the ball game and executing the offense that they're going to have to be able to execute next year.
Bunting going to give it off the touch pass. The bumpers to the end zone. Touchdown, Parkview. No flags. Elliott Bumpers into the end zone for the first time this year.
That's got to feel good for a young man who gets his first touchdown on homecoming at War Memorial Stadium. Goes as a touchdown pass for Mr. Bunting,
yeah.
and no flags, as you pointed out. They kind of got some coaching on the sidelines saying, boys, let's not hold on to the jerseys quite so long. And I think more than anything, it's like, you want to score a touchdown off a turnover, especially deep in plus territory. You don't want to settle for 3. This gives them, gives the offense, the second team offense, a little bit more positivity to go into film study, and we were able to learn and clean some things up and get in the end zone.
Oh no! Solomon Aguilar just missed. That's his first miss since the Melissa game. The streak is over. I don't care what the score is. That's a moral loss.
Yeah, he's going to dwell on that. Poor Solomon. That's what he's going to take away from tonight. Not the made field goal, not all the other extra points made. And you see on the replay there, he just gets to the outside, touch pass, well executed. Yep. You can see who was it on the offensive line there? That was Damian Rich. Held him long enough in the legal zone, then threw his hands off to make sure that he didn't get called for the flag on the hold. Again, they went to the sideline, got told what they did wrong, came back, fixed it, looked good.
That's got to feel good if you're Elliott Bumpers as well, because his last 2 touchdowns were called off due to penalties.
Yeah.
And now finally, he runs the ball into the end zone, extending Parkview's lead. He gets to take a little bit of a breather as Solomon Aguilar tees the ball up to kick it away. But you know who's not taking a break? It's the Parkview band. Normally, it's pretty commonplace for bands at the high school level to take a break in the third quarter. Parkview, nope. They are still jamming over there.
Yeah, they're as much a part of the show as the football team is tonight. And I'm here for it.
Yes.
I love it.
Aguilar's kick is away, going to be returned from the 4. And that is Cotto again, taken down at the 21-yard line.
They're going to be happy just to hold on to the football this time. We've said this a handful of times, like you really just want to see execution if you're the Queen. You want to, they want to get something out of this to go home with, something that they can go teach, correct, get better.
Yes.
They still have more than half of their conference games to go. This is just one loss. Doesn't matter how lopsided it is. They want to get better. They want to play in November. And the only way to do that is to get better.
Binkley's going to hand it off. And be lucky to gain a yard on that carry. That was Cotto again.
Yeah, Cotto has been a real joy to watch, even though it's been a tough uphill climb for them tonight. He has really put in a good shift today, as you'd say in soccer. He has really gone out there. He has done his job. He's a tough kid. He's taken a bunch of hits tonight. Continues to line up. He's a kid that you can play on my team any day. I like his attitude. I like the way he plays. He's got some grit.
This time, Binkley is going to be swarmed in the backfield as he tried to fake the handoff. But
it's a little misdirection there that nobody's biting on at this point. You got to have success on first down to make that sort of stuff work. You can't do it outside of that. And once again, we're looking at a third and very long for DeQueen.
Yep, third down and 11.
Inside the 20.
Just over a minute left in the third quarter. And now see what DeQueen can do here to keep their spirits up. Line up in the gun. Binkley looks to throw, but now has to scramble away. Throws. Just in and out of the hands of Radon Parson.
Yeah, that's another one of those that he would never in a million years make that play or make that throw under normal circumstances.
Okay.
Just under such duress. He just had no opportunity. Couldn't get his feet set and had to get it off. Micah Johnson was right hot on his tail. Nice to see Micah too. Like, he knows it's a tough night for the other side. He knocked Binkley to the ground and came over, picked him up, pat him on the head. It's a tough night. And if you play this game long enough, you're going to be on the other side of this score every once in a while.
Parkview does not send anyone back to return this punt, as they were anticipating some sort of trickery. But no, the ball is going to roll to the Patriot 44-yard line. So let's see if we have any new numbers on the field for this Parkview offense.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance we'll see some fresh faces out there today as we start the fourth quarter.
Third quarter comes to an end. We'll be right back on the Patriot Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports.
Let them experience passions through extracurriculars. Let them experience teamwork, discipline, and resilience through sports. Let them experience leadership and service to community. Let them experience on-the-job training through internships and job shadowing. Let them experience the excitement of performing through drama and dance. More opportunities for kids. It's what sets Little Rock School District apart.
Trip Keeter alongside Brett Kincaid. We have an entirely new offense on the field. The handoff looking for the middle, only going to gain a yard. That's number 38 at quarterback. That is Robert Jackson, a freshman playing quarterback on his first snap of the season.
We're deep into the roster sheet tonight, Trip.
Oh yeah, we're getting deep.
Having to do some looking. Which, again, if you're the coaching staff at Parkview, you're thrilled at this. You get some kids some live snaps.
Another handoff to the left side this time. He's trying to find the corner, and he's going to be corralled down at the 50-yard line.
Marcus Barnes?
That's Marcus Barnes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So 38 handing off the 37. That's really easy to keep track of.
As you often see, yeah. Again, nice. Gets to the outside. Nice little juke there. But met by 3 or 4 Leopards who finally were able to find their way through. This is, they're probably getting some first and second team in for DeQueen at this point.
And it's going to take about 3 or 4 defenders to bring down a guy as quick as Marcus Barnes. Just wait till he's a senior. Here he is again, up the middle. Look at how fast he is. There he goes. He's going to finally be wrestled down. Cotto finally caught him at the 15-yard line. Marcus Barnes is playing like he has something to prove.
That was a nifty little cutback he had there, too. He, the play went to the left side. He was able to find the hole and then shoot through the cannon. He found a little bit of a cutback crease, and then he shot right through it. Looked like he had an angle, but just I think he probably thought he had the angle, didn't realize he didn't. It's something they'll point out when they go to the film.
Now Barnes is going to sit out for a play. Robert Jackson still in at quarterback. Mayweather in at running back now. Give to Mayweather, still fighting. Did a little step back to stay on his feet.
It looked like he had a little slip there, but he was good. He kept his balance, caught back up, knew that he needed to get north and south as quickly as he can. We got one other score from the conference to pass along. The Hope Bobcats, who DeQueen was able to take out last week. They're having a tough sledding night against Hot Springs. It's 54-7. Trojans, the team that Parkview vanquished last week, is getting a fresh, good taste in their mouth tonight, going down to Hope.
Now Hope gets to come down here on Thursday night next week.
Penalty, false start. False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Whitehat anticipated that penalty as he turned on his mic as he was before he blew the whistle. So the false start penalty is going to set Parkview back as trying to beat the record for the longest drive offensively of the game.
Well, we talk about the skill players that are on the field for the first time. A lot of these offensive linemen are on the field for the first time as well. I see Ty Jordan is out there at number 69 playing at the guard position. Joshua Kerrigan out there as well. It looks like he's our new center for the moment.
Hand it off up the middle. Gonna be met. That's Jeremiah Buckner that time. Another freshman on the field.
This offensive line, these are the younger kids. Ty Jordan, I just looked at, he's a sophomore. We got a couple other sophomores out there. Kerrigan's a sophomore. They're getting the push. These kids need the snaps, they need the reps, they need the live action, but there's something there with all these kids that we're seeing right now. They're trying to get, for them, this is like an NFL exhibition game.
It really is.
They're trying to put up good tape so they can get noticed and get more playing time.
Hand it off again. Up the middle on third down. It's going to be Buckner again on the carry.
Buckner carries off tackle.
We can see if our main man gets a chance to make up for the miss, we're going to go for it here.
It looks like Parkview is going to go for it on fourth down, just to give, I assume, to give these young guys an extra rep.
Yeah, and it's you kind of Coach Bowling's in a tough spot here. You kick the field goal or you run a potential score. You don't want to get the accusation of running up a score on the conference opponent.
Now a flag comes flying from both sidelines.
Penalty marker. Dead ball lined up in the neutral zone on the offense. Hey.
A couple of Patriots lined up in the neutral zone.
That is not a common foul you see on the offensive side of the ball. That's, again, goes to the inexperience that we're talking about.
And it is good that you bring these young guys in early while they're still freshmen and sophomores to get them that development, to get them that playing time, to iron out mistakes early before they become developed enough to become starters.
Well, yeah, because when you're playing your JV games, you're not always going up against varsity players like you are tonight.
There's Buckner on the carry down the left side, slips away down the sideline. Did he get the first down? The line to gain was the 5-yard line. I think he's going to be short, unless my angle at the first down marker is wrong, because they're going to mark the ball at the 7-yard line. And it'll be a turnover on downs from the looks of it. And so DeQueen will take over. That's the first turnover by this. This is the first drive that Parkview has not scored in this game.
First drive that did not end in points.
Wow.
With 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Great job by these young Patriots, though, taking the field, getting those reps in, still playing hard. It's okay that they didn't score because they've got plenty of opportunities in the future for that.
Well, yeah, you didn't do the full accounting of it, but presumably you had 11 sophomores on the field at the time.
There's Cotto again. And he's going to be pulled down.
He needs to be the first kid in treatment tomorrow back at the DeQueen Fieldhouse. That kid is really, really taking a beating tonight.
Freshman linebacker Anthony McBride made the tackle that time, so it was a freshman tackling a senior.
Yeah, that's one thing at this level you don't see a lot of.
Nope.
5 and 6 and 7A is freshmen getting the field, even in mop-up duty.
Clock continues to roll. 5:20 and counting.
You know, looking at these kids out there that are playing on the field right now, like I was just looking at Prince Akoa, he's a sophomore right end. I mean, that kid just fills out the uniform. Like he bit hard on the crash right there. As soon as I called, talk about the announcer's jinx, I called his name, and he bit hard on the fake. But the kid looks like a football player. He really fills out the uniform. Is going to grow into a pretty strong athlete, looks like.
Number 93 on the tackle, that's Prince Echo. My roster is 2 pages long. All the names and stuff fill out both pages, but it ends at number 82. So I think I need an extra page. Thank you.
There you go. You can take my extra.
You're on 3rd down. Give to Cotto again. He's going to be swarmed down. About 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A good group tackle there by Parkview.
You know, we talked about that early in the game about it can be difficult to identify who is the lead tackle or a lot of these Parkview defensive players because, I mean, they swarm and you see that even with the 2nd and 3rd team that are out there now, they are swarming the ball. This is clearly a priority that they coach at Parkview is you attack the ball carrier, everybody all at once. You want to see 11 white hats.
Timeout, DeQueen.
So the first timeout of the game belongs to the Leopards. It took them until under 4 minutes in the 4th quarter. I was about to say the 3rd quarter, but the official game clock in the stadium still says 3rd.
Yeah, they're not used to the running, even though we had the Razorbacks had one the first game of the season here as well.
In this stadium, yep.
In this stadium, that's right. As you noted before the game, they cleaned the paint off the end zones for this one. They were back to just traditional alternating colors of green striped in between the fives.
And I liked it, too, seeing Arkansas and all red in the end zones. That was kind of a commonplace thing to see, you know, letters and a logo at midfield. The Arkansas in the end zones here in this stadium. But ever since they got this new turf, they've kind of just emptied it out emptied the canvas. So now it's just a big old, like you said, alternating shades of green every 5 yards.
Well, we talked about, off air before the game, like you just kind of feel like wish they just put a Parkview logo in the middle, but I know we share the stadium with several other teams from the area.
The reason why we're playing on Thursday next week is because Catholic also has a home game the following night.
A little quarterback sneak there for 4th down.
Went up the middle. I think he might have been short of a line to gain. It was 4th down. Let's see what the call is, and they're going to move the chains.
Get it to him, Close enough for a running clock in the 4th quarter.
The clock should be rolling, and it is. It looked like it was stopped for a moment.
You know who else hasn't shown any quit all night, as you mentioned earlier, the Parkview band.
Nope, they're still going. I noticed as they were marching onto the field during pregame, as they were marching around the sidelines. Look at this big group effort. All 11 guys to the field, to the ball to get that tackle. But as the Parkview band was marching around the sidelines during pregame warm-ups, I'm going to say their uniforms, they dress to impress.
Yes, they do. This is a show band for real.
Yeah, they're wearing the blue uniforms with the red and white trim. They looked really, really nice.
And Ryland Pickett coming off the field got his helmet knocked off. That's another kid. We talk about Cotto. Pickett is really turned in a shift today as well. He's been running mostly out of the fullback position, trying to get those tough yards through the middle of the defense.
And a flag comes flying.
Failure to wear proper equipment, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
There's another new penalty tonight.
An equipment penalty. I've never heard of that in high school football. The only time I can remember something like that, coincidentally, in this stadium when Florida A&M came to play the Hogs, they were wearing white jerseys with white numbers on it, and that was a violation.
And it's an unsportsmanlike penalty at the beginning of the game. Yeah, I don't know in high school if they have enforced the mouthpiece in for every snap, or maybe a chin strap. I mean, it's a player safety situation.
I don't like the trend of not wearing your mouth guard when you're in play. And now another flag comes flying as the snap happens.
I mean, for me, it was always I wanted to keep my teeth.
Yeah,
it was kind of one of those things that just seemed wise. And I was not a quarterback. I didn't have to bark out signals, so just put it in.
I was a nose guard, so I had to have my mouth guard in the whole time.
And flag was thrown, but no penalty called. There might have been a mishap as there was that equipment penalty on Parkview, but they still had it first and 10. Yeah, so now it's 1st and 5. And up the middle. Only going to gain 2.
Looking now, the clock is winding down. The only suspense with 90 seconds left is will DeQueen snap the ball on the Parkview side of the 50 before the end of the ball game? This is literally the only suspense left in this match.
The only time they scored was from a trick play. It was a really good pass too, I must say, by Cole Binkley. He found Ulysses Cotto. Not often a receiver can get past guys like Amarian Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, on that particular play, they hit him at the wingback position and leaked him out on a wheel, and perfectly executed.
Whoa! Look at that tackle as Binkley hit his own guy as he was swarmed that time. That was number 24. I think that was Messiah Jones that time on the tackle. Number 24, the sophomore defensive back.
We can get one more snap in to see if they can. Well, I guess they won't snap the ball likely on the other side of the 50.
They're going to have to at least once to avoid a.
Well, even if they execute and get to the other side of the 50, they won't have time for another snap at this point.
That's true. Now here's what may as well be the last play of the game. That's the story of the game offensively. Cotto's going to carry it.
Appropriately, they handed it off to Cotto there. He deserves to get the last snap, and that'll do it.
Now both teams are going to meet at midfield to shake hands. Brad Bolding being the first man out there, jogging his way to the opposite side, shaking hands with Richard Bell. And a dominant victory for these Patriots, 66-7.
I mean, you said it. I mean, it's dominant. That's all it was. I mean, this was utter domination of an opponent who just simply wasn't up to snuff.
How long are the highlights that we've got, Will? They're quite a bit. Honestly, you don't even have to wait till we sign off. You can go ahead and start playing them, my good friend, because there's probably a lot.
Been working on highlights since the first quarter, and hopefully have enough time to get it done. Look, I mean, we talked about it at halftime. This game effectively ended in the second quarter. Parkview was up 21-7 at the end of the first quarter. It looked as though it was going to be, a game that obviously Parkview felt like they had control of, but did not see this coming until about midway through the second quarter, when you realized that there just was nothing there offensively for DeQueen for the rest of the night.
And give DeQueen some credit. They kept fighting. Obviously, this is a very demoralizing way to lose because they were just overpowered for the majority of the game. But they kept their heads up. They kept being physical. And they're going to have some more victories, I can almost guarantee, for the remainder of this season. No, they're going to keep fighting. It's only up from here.
Well, their coaches are going to go back. I'm sure one of the many things they're going to tell them when they get back home is, they'll tell them in the locker room tonight, and then they'll tell them when they get back home, you're not going to see a better team for the rest of the year unless we see them in the playoffs, because there isn't a better team in 5A than Parkview, and they're going to go back, they're going to learn from their mistakes, they're going to flush this out of their system as quickly as possible, and they're going to get right back to work for next week, because guess what? The conference slate just keeps coming. You cannot dwell.
I love over there, they're still down there in front of their band, doing their alma mater, staying strong through this tough loss, and now
speaking of staying strong, like one thing that is worth noting, everybody walked off the field under their own power all night.
Yep.
There were, there'll be lots of sore kids tomorrow, but this is a situation where if you're DeQueen and you're undermanned and you're understaffed, you just don't have as many players. Kudos to them and their training for being able to stick around and play in this game, because their offense, my gosh, they were on the field forever.
Yeah. Now let's not overlook. It's hard to underestimate Parkview's next opponent, because if you look at the final score, 66-7, Parkview over DeQueen. DeQueen got a victory last week over Hope. A much smaller score, but they still won the game. And now Hope gets to come to War Memorial Stadium on a Thursday night to take on the Patriots. And Brett, I'm honestly kind of upset you're not going to be here with me. You won't be able to make it, because it's been a blast these past couple of games. You get to join me here, so thank you so much.
I'm excited about the rest of the season. We'll miss next week, but I expect to hit the road with you when we do our Southwest Arkansas tour for the rest of the conference season.
Absolutely. So once again, thank you so much for joining me.
Glad to be here. It's been a fun night.
Been a pleasure, and thank you to Will Watkins, our producer and engineer, working his tail off for not just our network, but pretty much every network under the Natural State Sports name. These guys have been working hard. We've got over 5 minutes of highlights playing right now, and we're going to let you enjoy them. Join us next week. Parkview hosts Hope on a Thursday night. For Will Watkins, Brett Kincaid, our entire Parkview Sports Networks crew, this is Trip Keeter. Say good night from the capital city.